the goal in this lesson, because he's just seeing you just now for the first time in 3 weeks, is to get him to be doing this exercise the way he does it with us here every day with different people. So I always send him to different people. No. And therefore, start associating this new way of being around you as well, since dogs associate behavior with people. And we're doing that part now. When we start going to your house, we'll deal with the association with places, people and places. It really doesn't matter how perfect he is here with me, because if I don't transfer that back to your house and make sure that he gets it, that, oh, I'm going to be that way there too, then you could pick him up and he's just going to be the same way there with you. I would be covered, because I would say, hey, you saw how good he is. You have the video of him being good here, but that's not real life. The trainer has to transfer all that good stuff back to you. It's also just as much about showing you how to do it, because my moves trigger this behavior. Your old moves would trigger the behavior that was there before, which is still stronger, because this is all brand new stuff. The stuff that, even if it was just a couple of months that you had him, that was learned first, that's learned best. And if you don't do these moves and do your best to practice the stuff that we're going to show you in the way that I show it to you, he's just going to go back to doing what he did with you before. Right. So this is really the most important part of the project, so that you have results after I'm gone. But he's doing pretty well. He's calm and he's staying in a sit stay. No. See how when he makes a mistake, I step into him and I do this little kind of do-over turn where my body actually sort of herds him. And all I did a couple times is a couple of taps like that with the leash. You're never going to drag him. You're going to have it loose and you're going to communicate with him instead of forcing him to go places, right? So you stayed there. I'm going to go back. I'm going to send him over to you. When he comes over to you, be down there with your hands to pet him, okay? So he doesn't jump all over you. Okay. This is just the first lesson with you. You're going to see every lesson after this, it's going to get better and better and better. Right now, he's being triggered to do the things he used to do with you. See how he's kind of traveling forward? That's a no-no. So that's not a sit stay. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to do that little do-over circle. And of course, with any dog, but especially a little tiny dog like this, it's all about how you do it, and it's all about doing less, not being rough, not correcting. And this is tough for him, so I'm going to allow a little bit of traveling. And then, see how the leash is loose? I'm not restraining him. I'm going to pat his chest and say, go, and you're go. But then I'm going to call him right back to me to come. So I'm going to call him back to me. Come. Good. Sit. And actually what I'm going to do the next time, normally I'm going to be calling him back to come, and this is going to come later in the lesson. When you back away, the dog's drawn to you, and you see how he runs back to me? It's because of the way I've been practicing calm. I always back away when I call the dog to me, but because you already see how he's calmer and I can walk farther away now, and he's staying in a sit stay. He's waiting. I go back next to him. Go say hi. I'm going to stand here and then say, come. Good. And the reason that I sort of said it in a louder voice is because when they're excited and adrenaline's rushing, we'll never know, but it's at the very least harder for him to focus, and maybe because it's rushing, that there's so much going on, it might sound like a jet plane in his ears. So I want to make sure that he really hears me, but normally you don't have to yell that loud. You won't have to. So we're going to add in something that's maybe going to be really hard for him, and maybe a little bit too soon, is this sit stay where he accepts me walking around both ways, but I know for sure that I can walk to the side of him either way, and that's a start. Nope. And this would be the way that you would practice anything.
So you do a circle, that's an automatic sit stay?
That's what we're shooting for in my world, at least. That's a basic sit stay where the dog, we say sit, and the dog will stay there and not get up. and you walk around both ways.
You don't have to tell them to stay.
Stay is built into sit, so you don't have to say stay. It's kind of a useless command. So see, I walk to this side, and I walk to this side, and that's half of it right there. And then every day I would practice this, I'd go a little bit further, and in a week, it's no problem because I did it gradually. And then if he does something very good, if he does something that's, worthy of a reward like that, good. Reward straight down. So this is all pretty loose because it's the first time that he's ever done this in front of all these distractions. So we're gonna go easy on him, but eye contact, straight down, good. This is a very important exercise we're doing with Captain because it is, it's teaching him a solid down stay, which of course carries over to his sit stay. Stay is a stay, right? And so this develops a lot of focus in him. I have worked up to doing this for about 5 minutes a day now with him. And the way that we do it, and the way you'll do it, hopefully, and we'll practice this at your house as well when I bring him back to you, is you put the mat down, and it doesn't have to be one of these training mats, but it's just something that you specifically use only for this. It's only for this one behavior. Because if you do that, and it's not a doggy bed, and it's not a mat that stays on the floor that he walks across or whatever, he has one association with it, and that's just doing this with you. You put it down, you go get him. Maybe it's going to be in your living room or someplace like that. You go get him, he's on a leash. Okay, so I'm going to walk up to it like this, sit. He never goes on this mat until he's released onto the mat, and you'll notice it's the same way that I release him to go say hi to you. It's a sit, it's go to your mat, and it's down. Lure him at the same moment that I said the command, just so it's connected. I'm not going to say down and then lure him down. I want the word connected to the action so that pretty quickly I don't have to give him the treat or get down there. I just say down and he drops. So our goal is, for all this stuff, is to phase the food out as quickly as possible. And for most things, unless there's a big issue, I phased all the treats out in 3 to 5 weeks, which makes the training better. Because if you keep giving him treats for simple things, like this will be very simple in another couple of weeks for him. Good. If you keep giving him treats for something he already knows, paying him for stuff that is like second nature to him, it devalues the treat for the things that are at the top of the list that you still want him to be motivated to learn. Ideally, he would choose, because of the gentle but firm pressure, he would just choose to collapse into a down. It's best if we kind of give them these little hints and help so that he makes the choice himself. And I think he'll be doing that in a couple of days. We're not finished with the training yet, of course. But in this case, barely just the weight of my hand. No. Good. See, I didn't push him all the way down. I didn't force him down. Just because I kind of gave him a little bit more help. Good. He decided to collapse. So we're just going to do the kind of half moon thing and start there. Good. And reward him. We got noisy helicopters going on up ahead, and I think I rewarded him just in time to keep him there. It's also, what happened there was I used the little food just right before it was too late to desensitize him to what was going on. If known what was happening, I would have had an extra large amount of reward there, so he was munching out as it passed by, and it would have kept him calm, so he could have kept the focus to stay there. But as it happened, he still did, so it was pretty good. But this is something that I usually just do for about 5 minutes a day. Normally he would make multiple mistakes, but gradually not with the other things that I was doing. And then so every day I would add a little bit more, do something a little bit harder. We're really after the byproduct of learning this mat exercise is that every time you do this, you release him, he's a little bit more stable, he builds a little bit more focus, it's the state of mind where all good behavior comes from. And obviously, if we practice this in a week or so, he'll just be waiting, and he'll get this too. And we'll move on to the next project. Nope. No. Nope. Nope. Good. I just wanted that like 2 seconds of him waiting and ending on that. Now that, because I've never done this much before with him with the mat, now that I know he can't handle that much of it, maybe tomorrow I'll just try to get a couple of successes, then we're done. And it'll be quicker that way if we don't practice so much, because he can't handle a lot at first. So we stand back next to him because we're done with this. You say, okay. Lead him off the mat, say sit, and then release him to be free. Go, he's free, and we always pick up this mat because they love this mat, and they're gonna want to run back on it and hang out, and that's why this is so powerful. You can only go on with your permission. And you see how calm he is. He's tired. Just think about the mental energy he's expending when he is doing that. It's a great way to make a dog tired without ever taking him out of your yard.